So Luke, does it feel like Showdown week or does it feel like just another week?
Yeah, now that we've wrapped up the North Melbourne game, we've had our last sort of one-on-ones today and got review of the game. So now straight into Port, and we're really looking forward to the challenge this week. They're a good team, and the build-up will be big this week. The whole town's into it, so really looking forward to it.
You need to make amends for that first round. It was a pretty good performance, but you just didn't get the 4 points.
Yeah, we're just trying to control what we can. We played well for, say, 3 quarters, but we had lapses in the game where we need to improve things, and we're really looking forward to trying to put 4 quarters together and playing a good team performance.
How did you find the game on the weekend? There were times where you were a bit out of place playing on a Ben Brown who's this much taller than you. You unhappy with the way that worked out, or give it on the day?
Yeah, we're just playing team defence, and we're just trying to help each other out. Whether I have to cover a big guy at times and just try and get the job done. We just got to do it, and it doesn't bother me if I can help out Talsey or one of the other big guys if they're in different positions. So we're just trying to help each other out, and I look forward to the challenge. Yeah.
I think Tex was out of the moon boot today. How encouraging is that, and how confident are you that he'll be right for this week?
Yeah, it was more a precautionary thing. We think Tex will be fine, and he just had a couple of days off the foot, and he should be training tomorrow.
Is it harder going in? Last year the first showdown was like round 5. Is it harder going in now round 2 because you don't really have, either side has no momentum really. You don't have a real read of where each other's at. Is it a bit harder going in sort of cold in round 2?
Yeah, you could say that, but Showdown's always those special games where anything can happen, and it doesn't really matter where you are on the ladder. You could be anywhere, top versus bottom, and it'll still be a good game. So we know it's going to be hot, contested footy, and we're looking forward to trying to get a big score and trying to stop them scoring a bit more this week.
Is that key for you guys then? You're just going to say we'll score more than the opposition, doesn't matter what they score, or do you have a target to try and keep them to a certain score?
No, we have our targets. Yeah, we're just obviously trying to stop them scoring as much as possible, and our attack speaks for itself. The last year and this year it's been really good, and we just got to tighten that defence, and hopefully we can do that this week.
Luke, do you typically play on Chad Wingard in a showdown before? Or?
It has been in the past, yeah. There's been a few different matchups, so like Robbie Gray, great player, Need as well. So there's a few matchups through there that we go through, and I'm not sure what they are this week yet. We haven't had the team meeting for the Port, but I'm sure they'll be around the place, yeah.
But between you and, say, Rory Lee, what would go through the mind of a defender having to come up against Chad and Robbie, those two dangerous small forwards? Yeah,
they're great players. You just have to be aware of their positioning on the ground at all times, because they can change the game in a couple of seconds. All it takes is a good shot at goal and on the boundary, and you can't give them any time and space. So I guess you've got to be wary of them at all times, and it's more of a team defence thing. If even Daniel Talia might find himself in matchups like that during the game, and if he can get it done and help us out, that'll be fantastic.
Do you look forward to playing on players like that? Does it G you up a bit more, the challenge of playing on one or two of the best small forwards in the competition?
Yeah, I guess it does. You always want that challenge to beat the best. And it's a good opportunity, especially for the whole team defence this week. Port have a great attacking team, and their forward line's really dangerous, so if we can keep them limited amount of opportunities at goal, then it'll be fantastic for us.
Luke, I think there was an article online today that the medal for best on ground won't be called the Phil Walsh medal anymore. As a player, would you have liked to have seen it remain as it was for that special showdown last year?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It was a great one-off last year, and a great way to remember him by. It was a fantastic game for all supporters to watch, and I'm not sure what's actually happened there in the background, but whatever decision's been made by both clubs, I'm sure it's the best interest for everyone.
So you're not bothered? I think it was joint decision. You're not bothered that it's just gone back, I think, to the showdown medal now?
No, not at all. I think the one-off game was pretty special for everyone. Good memory of that game, and it's obviously a decision being made by the hierarchy, and both teams have decided on that, so you can't go any further.
You're eyeing off 0-2 and another loss. Is that something that's talked about? Making sure that you can try and get the ledger even at 1-1 after this week.
We go into each week trying to win, so we don't really talk about the opportunity of losing at all. Obviously, we lost on the weekend, and that wasn't a good start for us. But we are looking to bounce back and play our footy, and we only talk about winning each week, and hopefully we can get that done.
What was missing? What's Crow's footy to you then, Luke?
It's just total football. So attack and defence. Obviously, defence was a bit wasn't there on the weekend for us in important times in the game, and that's why they were able to score over 100. And our attack was fantastic. We had players in the forward line. JJ really stood up for us, and they always provide a contest. And I'm sure if we get it in the forward 50, no one's going to stop them that many times. So as a group we have to tighten up that defence sort of stuff, and no, we're looking forward to it.
So is that something you work on then? Just to say, by weight of numbers, if we kept getting the ball in, eventually our blokes are good enough to score?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a sort of a game of keeping it in your forward half as much as possible, and I think throughout the games on the weekend, if you did that, you sort of won the game. If you're able to lock it in your forward half, give your forwards more opportunities, you've got a great opportunity to win.
What about Eddie? Played a lot of time off the ground during the week. Is that something that's been planned by Pikey, or just how it worked out? Do we expect it more?
I guess it sort of depends on the type of game. Eddie is a great player and he can play anywhere, and we're looking forward for him to change the game for us at times, and we really love his presence up forward, though. His defensive work especially, not many people really talk about that. His pressure on the ball is unbelievable, and he gets help out from McGovern, whose defensive pressure has been awesome as well. Yeah, that's the main part for him. He's just got to play his team role, and we'll worry about that later on.
So you think he'll feature in the midfield a bit more this week as well?
I'm not too sure. Obviously we haven't spoken about the game as of yet for Port. We just went through North today, but I'm sure it was just game situation sort of stuff, matchups wise, and see how we go from there.
Port rested Jared Pollock from the game at the Dome that he had a few weeks back, and we see Tex coming back in a moon boot. Does it change your recovery after a game like that? Do you think it'll play any effect on how you guys play on the weekend?
It changes recovery a little bit. I mean, Eddie Had's always a hard deck, and you always feel a bit sore after the games, but it doesn't really change how you play the week after. We have plenty of time to recover, and we're all professionals now, so we understand what we have to do to get our bodies right for next week.